Today is part 2 of the new Lightspeed Upserve POS demo. And in case you've been living under a bomb shelter below ground, these two POS systems are converging into one super POS system. And it's going to be under the name of Lightspeed from here on out because they bought out Upserve. So today I'm going to show you the backend analytics as well as all the functions. And if you haven't watched part 1, which is the iPad demo, which is what the servers and bartenders see when they work on it, you can go check that out here. Okay, how you doing, by the way? So rude of me not to ask. Dave Allred, the real barman here. So in this demo, we're going to go over everything you will see in the back end. And I'm very excited to show you everything because Upserve brought the analytics side to this little marriage. And if you haven't seen them yet, you're in for a treat because it is remarkable how much return on investment the analytics alone can get you. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into the back end. Again, if you haven't watched my last couple of videos on Lightspeed, I want to make sure you know that you can click up here at any time to get a live demo with a Lightspeed expert whenever you're ready. And if you do use that link, which I also have in the description below, if and when you sign up, you're going to receive $2,000 off the hardware, which is unheard of, but it is true. And as always, my full transparency disclosure, I am an affiliate for Lightspeed, which means if you use that link and do sign up, I do make a commission, which of course I always really appreciate. Thank you very much. But I never recommend anything that I do not use and love myself. All my reviews are my 100% honest opinion. And if Lightspeed isn't for you, that's fine. I want you to find the best POS system for you, whatever that might be. I'm just here to help any way I can. Okay, so here we are in the back end. I'm going to quickly cover these tabs over here on the left. And why I love Lightspeed so much, the reason it is my favorite POS system, is that they have these advanced insights in the back end that I'm going to go over here in a minute that give you a huge advantage when it comes to identifying the areas of your business which you can take advantage of and boost your sales. But in addition, the front end is so easy to use that a drunken chimpanzee could do it. And that would be the servers and bartenders, which means that everyone in the restaurant is benefiting. All right, and the customer service is great, the pricing is fair. What's not to like. So let's go ahead and jump into the back end here, and we're going to start with the Home tab. And the Home tab is basically an overview of what's going on. It's a snapshot. It's a bird's eye view of what's going on in your restaurant. I'm going to choose the current year here. The data in the back end demo here is not going to be super accurate and maybe realistic because it's used for demos. We're just putting any data in, but it's going to give you an idea of what it might look like. So I'm going to go over the boxes quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on every single thing in the system because you have things to do. So we have our gross results here. Average table occupancy time, revenue per cover, revenue per ticket, all valuable stuff. Down here, we have shift results, morning, lunch, afternoon, dinner. You can create these in the back end, any time period you want to create what defines morning, lunch, dinner, and then you can break them down to see how you did in sales. Cancellations, if you have your inventory set up, you would show your stock right here. It's not set up in this demo right here. It's going to give you your gross profit margin, your best day ever, and then your top customers right here. We're going to get into customers in just a little bit. Going on to menu management, I'll just hit really quick on. The accounting groups are basically your categories. You can create any categories you want in your restaurant. You can see they have alcoholic beverages, bar, coffee, cold food, desserts, and so on and so forth. You can set these up any way you want that'll show up in your POS system. If we go to items, of course, are every single thing in your POS system, every button, every modifier, everything that's going to be rung up needs to be entered here. Now, Lightspeed is going to help you set this up. But you can import if you're coming from another POS system. You can set this up in their template and you can import all of your items. You can create combos from this area here. The combos section is really cool, especially if you're doing QSR, if you're a quick service restaurant, or even to-go meals. And then if I search for an item here, I'm going to go to the ribeye because I know this is set up in here. Let me go over to edit. Here's where you'd edit all the information. If you're setting up a new one manually and you're not importing it, here's where you'd set it up. You have a QR code option over here. You can define it by accounting group or category. And what I want to show you is to make sure, in my opinion, what you should be doing is adding to the description on every single item that you have on your menu. In this case, if we go to the description, you can see that we've added a description here. I show this on the iPad demo, how we set this up. And then you can do the picture too. I think we have the picture in here. No, the picture doesn't seem to be showing up, but we did have a picture in there. Make sure to put a picture and a description for every single menu item right here in the back end because it's going to help you sell more. Okay, so I just want to mention that really quick. If we do go to menus, We can see all of our different menus on here. And the great thing about Lightspeed is you can create different menus for different areas of your bar. So you might just have happy hour out on the patio. You can just have that happy hour menu show up on the patio. A lot of POS systems can't do this, so it's quite amazing. You can set up QR codes for different areas of your restaurant that each have different menus. It's really great. If I go inside any of these, it will show what the categories are for that particular menu. I can move them up and down and rearrange them if I want. And then at any time, I can preview what it's going to look like right here, which is a great little feature. So I can click on these. I can see if I like it and if they're all arranged the way I like it. So that's the preview option. So I just wanted to go over that quickly. The menu, which you'll work with your Lightspeed rep when you get all set up there. Configuration, we'll go over this quickly. Let's go over the settings. The business settings is just your business information. So we don't really need to go over that, your address and where you're located at. Reporting shifts, just talked about that. You can define the times when you have these shifts, so you can define or you can view your sales for each of those shifts. You can split those up in any way you want. Discounts, here's where you set up all your discounts. Lightspeed can help you with that. Payment methods, floor plans. I talked about this in the iPad demo. In the back end here, you can set up as many floor plans as you want. I don't know if you have 5 stories or you got different indoor, outdoor, but here's where you would arrange it right here. You can arrange how many covers each one has. You can arrange, put tables on here, big tables, circular tables, square tables. You can move them around. So here's where you do all your menu management and your settings for all this. Transfer options, we won't go over that. Your voids. Here's where you set up your reason for your voids. You need to have those in there because you want to know why an item was voided or comped. Reporting automation, you can have up to 5 reports automatically emailed to whoever you want every single morning, so you're receiving these reports. Languages, we don't need to go over that. Devices, printing hardware, all this is stuff that Lightspeed can help you set up. So let's talk about reports, and this is not yet the advanced analytics I want to get into, but again, here's another sales dashboard that you can go over. You can view a certain time period. You have your closed accounts, your net sales, your total taxes, and your gross sales all right here. And once again, you have just an overview of what's going on with your sales over a certain time period, broken down by item. Okay? And if I go to the reports, there's 25 to 30 reports on here you can really dive into. I'm not going to dive into all these, but you have the business reports, you have hourly performance, staff reports, shift reports. This is all really good stuff for you to get in here and analyze things. I'm going to show you the advanced insights. I'm not going to spend time on this. Just know that this is kind of an area that most POS systems have when it comes to reporting. It's going to have just about everything you need. Okay, but I want to get into the advanced insights here before we get into any of this other stuff. This is all extras. This is kind of the most important part that I want to talk about first is the advanced insights. And this is where I get really excited. I want to open advanced insights. Here's where you can really separate yourself from the competition. This is, like I said, what Upserve brought to the Lightspeed marriage are these advanced data mining insights that you can get about your customers so you can increase your sales, also about your staff. So I'm going to show you here what I mean. Instead of just saying it's great, let me show you why it's great. So right here, we have our net sales to start off with. We have all these tabs up here that I'm going to go over, and you can do any time period you want. So if I do like the last 28 days and then I do a comparison over like the previous period, it's going to show you how you did over the previous period, whether it's week, month, year, whatever you want to do, and how you're doing now. Again, the data is not going to be perfect, but this is the previous period, and this is how we're doing right now. And you can see if you hover over any of the bars, you get a little more information there based on that particular day. Okay, same thing with gross sales. Gross sales versus net sales. Your covers, how many covers you're doing on each particular day. You can see the purple ones are no covers, probably because this is a demo account and we're just ringing stuff in to show people what it looks like. You want to make sure that your servers are putting in the covers for every table so you know how much you're making per cover. A very important stat that you should be aware of. Card sales, time of day, this is the heat map, and I love this. This is going to show you a lot of information right here. This one's not very good. I'm going to bring up a screenshot instead. This one's a little bit better. This is just a snapshot, and you can see all these dark and light areas. Let me show you what this can do. So if you hover over any of the boxes over a particular time of day, it's going to give you more information right here. But what this is the darker the boxes, the busier you are during that time period. The lighter the boxes, the slower you are. You can see this time period here on Tuesday. This is a white box. We're not getting anyone during that time. Again, a demo account, we don't know why that is, but each of these areas is going to tell you how busy you are during what time of day. Now, this gives you a lot of information. This means that when you're busier, you're going to have to staff more. So this gives you that information. You're probably going to want to put your best servers on during these time periods when they're dark so you can turn and burn and give the best customer service during that time. You can put your slower servers on during the lighter times. In addition, if you have these lighter times like this white box or these lighter areas, we might want to run a promo during that time. Why are people not coming in during that time? We know exactly when to run a promo on what day and what time because those boxes are light, so we know that we need to boost our sales. This gives you a lot of great information. Okay, so the time of day heat map, very awesome tool for helping you do staff and increase your sales during those times. Day of the week is kind of the same thing, but it shows it in a bar form so you can see which days are the busiest and which days aren't. Apparently on this particular demo account, they're not open on Saturday, Sunday because it's all white over here. New versus repeat customers. Let me go. Let me see if this is better. This is more realistic right here. So with this tab, you can see your new customers versus your repeat customers over a certain time period. This is for December 2021. And then you get your guest frequency right here, which in this case shows 1.57, which means your customers are returning on average 1.57 times. That's actually a really good number. I know you may not know that, but 1.57 is a very good number. If you're down well below 1, you want to make sure we're able to boost that up. All these analytics can help you get repeat customers as well. We want to see this number go up higher and higher. So another great metric for you to keep an eye on. Okay, so that's your sales overview. I love the heat map. It's probably my favorite on this whole thing, that time of day heat map. Make sure you're using that. Then we're going to go to our servers. Let's go like last 28 days. And this is going to open up a bevy of information for your servers right here. Okay, if we hover again over any of these, we're going to get an overview of what each individual server is doing. If we go to the scorecard, it's like flipping the card over. You can look at the back and it's going to tell you even more information that you can scroll down and take a look at. You can see what categories they're selling the best in, what their turn time is, how many discounts they're giving, how many voids they're doing. A lot of information on the back of this card. Let's go back to here. In addition, you can use these scorecards and this server information to see their table turn time. Let me see if I can break this down. First of all, we can break this down by position. All positions, managers, servers. You're usually going to have more categories than that. You're going to have chefs, cooks, dishwashers, all that. But right now we just have servers and managers. Let me do servers. There's not very many. Let's just do all of them. But we can break this down by menu category as well. So we can break it down by wines. We can see how each individual server is doing on this. Now, why this is valuable is because if one server is weak in certain categories like wines or beers and they have low sales, you can help train them to sell those better. You say, hey, you don't have very many wine sales. You need to start making suggestions. Here's how you do that so we can up our wine sales. So it allows you to identify who's selling what in what category, who's selling the most. In addition, turn time. Who's doing the best turn times? This guy, Francisco down here, takes him 2 hours and 15 minutes to get people out of there. Way too long. We can see Xander over here is he's way low. Again, this is probably not realistic. He's not getting people out in 15 minutes. But if you can use this as an overview, you can see who's getting people out and turning and burning the fastest. We want to put those people on busy nights because we're turning tables like crazy. Obviously, if it's because they're just rushing people out of there, we don't like that. We want to make sure people are having a great experience. But if they're also being efficient and getting people out of there, that means more money for the restaurant. We can put Francesco out on a Tuesday night when there's open tables and he can just give good customer service and they can stay as long as they want. So average turn time is very important. Discounts, this shows which server are providing a bunch of discounts. If they have a lot of errors, or problems, you go in there and they have this is really low actually, but if you get on there and they have like 9% discounts, which is almost like 1 out of 10 tabs, you can get in there and find out, what's going on here. You have way too many discounts, way too many mistakes, just a ton of information on here that I don't want to sit here and spend a bunch of time on, but it's remarkable what you can do by using this information to find out your stronger servers, your weaker servers, who to put on what shifts. All this information is extremely valuable. Moving on to the menu. Right off the bat, there's 3 tabs here. The repeat customer favorites, I don't believe is set up in this one. No, we don't have that one set up here. With the repeat customers, The data mining that we get with all these great insights comes from the customer's credit card information. So when they swipe that credit card, we get all their information. We know when they come back. We know what they like. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. If they pay with cash, we don't get any of that. Okay, so we don't have this set up in the back end right now. We need that credit card data mining to have that. But here you can see the most popular ranked, okay, which is great. You can see if something's not selling right here. You can break it down by time period. You can do it by category. This is just all categories. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton in here. If you hover it over it again, you can see exactly what's been selling, your total sold, and your total sales. Normally, you'd have a bunch of categories on here. It's just not input right now, but you can go right down the line. So this is great to see your rank from top to bottom. Okay, some other POS systems will have this, but the Magic Quadrant is where we separate right here. And this one doesn't have much data on here, so I'm going to bring up a screenshot again, which shows a little bit more. And again, if you hover over any of these dots, you can see which menu item it is. Each of these dots represents a menu item. And here's what the Magic Quadrant does. First off, in the top right is, and this is a form of menu engineering that's going to tell you exactly what items you need to keep on the menu and which items you need to toss out. Okay, so the greatest hits mean that it gets ordered a lot, people love it, and it shows that when people order it, they come back again. And we're able to tell this from the credit card data mining. So we know when that person runs a credit card, if they ordered the monster nachos and then they come back again and they're order them again, or that person comes back, we know that this item brought them back again. That is mega valuable information that most systems do not have. No systems have. Okay. And then on the hidden gems over here, it means that people came back after they tried it, but they just weren't ordering it much on the menu. That means we need a better description. We need a better picture. We need to find a way to get them to order it, because if they do order it, they come back again. So these are very good items, but we needed to describe it or promote it in a better way. Down here on the left, underperformance means they ordered it and they don't order it very much, and when they do order it, they don't come back. These need to go. These are the worst ones on the quadrant. One-hit wonders mean we did a great description. People were fired up on it. It sounded good, but when they ordered it, they didn't come back. So they're one-hit wonders. People order it a lot, but they're not returning. And you can see here this information we get when we hover over the pork sirloin milanese. That's a horrible pronunciation. 265 orders and 42% of the customers return. We need to make sure we're keeping that on the menu. That's the Magic Quadrant. I love the Magic Quadrant. One of my favorite things on the entire back-end data. And then quickly we'll go through the logbook. The logbook is just it's basically like a journal. You can record what happened during the day. You can record the weather. If anything went on, we need to put it right here. Then the manager comes in the next day. They can see what happened the day before. If there's any problems with employees, you're writing them up. You need to make sure to record everything, especially from a legal standpoint, to make sure that we have everything recorded. We can go back in the logbook and say, hey, look, we recorded this day. What you're saying is not true. Guest book. Here's where we can spot a lot of the data mining. So when customers come in and we have their information, we now know how often they come in. We know what they like to eat, how much they spend, how much they tip. We're able to customize their experience based on this knowledge that we have. For instance, if we go here to our best guests, we get a summary, kind of an overview versus our best guests versus all of our guests. All right, and you can go down here and look at this data right here. Pause the video if you want. I'm not going to go over all of them. The data may not be necessarily accurate anyway, but a good overview of what your best guests are doing. And if we go to our list of guests, these again are all made up, but if I click on any of them, here's what we're going to get. You can see all this data open up here. We can see their popular items, how much they order each of these items. So when they come in, we know exactly what they want. We call them by name. We say, hey, Andy, how you doing today? We're having tiramisu today? He's like, holy cow, these guys know exactly what I like. You want a Corona? You want a Budweiser pint? What are you having today? We can customize their order. Over here, you can see their total sales. This guy's an important customer. He spent $7,600 with us. He's been here 97 times. His average spend is $78 every time he comes in. That's a valuable guest. Sales per cover. Average tip, 10%. That's not good. Servers won't be excited to see him. But again, this is probably not accurate data. Lifetime value, $19,000. So this is over a certain time period here. So that's his lifetime value here. So with the scorecard, you can go over every single guest, see exactly what it likes. You have his phone number, you have his email address, you have his birthday right here. Everything we need to know about Andy is right here. And we can make Andy's experience feel amazing. See how valuable this stuff is? And then campaigns. anytime you're scheduling a demo, anything like that, not a demo, I'm sorry, a promo, anything where you're getting people to come in, like a Valentine's Day weekend, we can schedule it for any time period you want, and then you can analyze how well your campaign did compared to your total sales during that time period. Okay, so that is your back end analytics, your advanced insights. Amazing stuff. I kind of flew through it. I understand that. You want to make sure to get that demo with a Lightspeed expert because they can walk you through and answer all your questions. I can't answer your questions by video. I'm sorry. But if you put a comment down in the description below, I can answer your comments. Quickly, I'm just going to finish up here. In the last video, in the iPad demo, I talked about the to-go ordering. I want to show you the back end really quick. If we go to the K-Series back end for to-go orders, this is where you're going to set this up. And so here are different profiles, which are different menus. And I'm just going to go to the OA pickup. And from here, you can name it. You can define it as pickup, table, menu browsing, curbside pickup. You can put a message there once they order, a confirmation message, exactly what you need to say. You can schedule it out to up to 7 days ahead, ASAP only, same day only, anything you want here. Enable a maximum orders per time slot. I talked about this in the iPad demo. For instance, here is what the to-go menu looks like. And if I click on any of these, whoops, sorry, hold on, let me get this. So if I click on when I want to pick it up, you can see there's 10 left. So every 15 minutes, only 10 can be made so you don't overwhelm the kitchen. So that's what you can set up here by the time slots right here. Okay, and then the other thing I'll mention, you can do your tipping down here, allow a custom note from the customers, all sorts of things you can do in the back end. You can set up your QR codes as well. Speaking of QR codes, Lightspeed does do the QR code. You can put it on the table. Customers can scan it. They can order from their phones. They can pay from their phones. All of that. It's amazing. For your to-go, now that I'm talking about to-go, I really suggest putting the QR code right on your to-go menus as you hand it to them. They take it home. A lot of people save their to-go menus. They can scan that. In another video, I talked about making magnets with QR codes, handing those out. They can slap them on the refrigerator, and then they're just walking by every day, and they keep seeing that thing, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to order from Dave's Bar and Grill, and they just scan that, and they can order right there. So sending QR codes home with them, super powerful. But the last thing I want to mention here with the to-go is with the delivery platform, if you're doing delivery, you can manage, with Lightspeed Delivery, you can manage all of your third-party menus and pricing all on one platform, which means if you have Grubhub and you have Uber Eats, Postmates, all that, you can change your menus and your pricing, and it updates to all of them. Normally, you have to go into each individual third-party delivery and update your menu individually, and it's very time-consuming. It's a pain in the butt. But with Lightspeed Delivery, you can manage it all in one spot. It's really cool. And that's all we're going to cover for today. I didn't cover every single thing, but I gave you a good look at the back end and what it looks like for Lightspeed. Make sure to go sign up for a demo and speak to a Lightspeed expert so you can ask all your questions and see if it's the system for you. And if it's not, it's not. But make sure to do your research because the POS system is the central nervous system. You use it every single day. Your employees use it every single day, and you can see what the analytics can do for you. So don't get caught up on pricing and all that because it's going to make you a lot more money back than you're spending. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this helped. I am going to see you next time. I'm out.